With me, Michigan International Speedway Track President Joe Fowler. Joe, I can see you're at the Speedway. You're hard at work, and I bet your sleeves are rolled up as we start today.
Yeah, it's been a good day. I mean, it's Thursday of race week. Things are picking up. We let our campers start to load in on Monday, and so they've been trickling in. And today's the day where it really starts to notice. People are here. We're probably about 80% full, I'd say, on Thursday, and getting ready for the big triple header weekend ahead of us.
Yeah, that's one of the things about Michigan International Speedway. I started coming the very first season back, and I think it was 1969 or 68, and I was there. And you're gonna go, how did you buy tickets? You were probably a little kid. Well, my mom and dad brought me, and my grandpa, and it was a tradition. My father had season tickets back when they had four races. The two NASCAR, IndyCar, and it was like a McLaren race back then. They didn't take me to that one, but they took me to the other three. Just a great experience. MIS has captured the imagination of fans forever, and I'm sure that's something that you're proud of, and that you and the staff at the Speedway and the volunteers, it's not lost on you guys.
No, not at all. I'll tell you, as the president of this facility, I think it's a big responsibility. I take it seriously to honor, the traditions and the history of this place. There is so much in our sport, really special moments that have happened at MIS. And you think about the legends, the names of true legends in our sport that have raced here: Petty, Earnhardt, Andretti, Unser. It's humbling when you think about all the moments at this facility, and then you think about what we're still doing today. We're still making it happen. We're still creating memories and experiences at our property for generations to come. So you're right. It's pretty special.
Yeah, and what I've liked too is that NASCAR and MIS in particular has always done a nice job of making ticket prices affordable, or a parent pays and they can bring a youngster and you can go into the pits and that. And of course, the Midway's always been fantastic. I just love the whole thing, and so thank you for making me a NASCAR addict. You know what I mean, in the appropriate sense, of course.
Yeah.
Taking a look, you guys went from August to June, and when NASCAR presented that to you as a possibility, did you guys jump at that right away?
We were excited about it. We weren't entirely sure exactly where we were going to land on the schedule. We
Hmm.
we felt that it was probably going to be a little bit early. Not unfamiliar with racing in June in Michigan, so
Yeah.
we accepted the challenge. It's a little bit extra work for us to go from August to June because, as you well know, the weather window in our state can be a little iffy, and there's a
Yeah.
lot you have to do to get the property ready. But I tell you, the move has been great. The fans have responded tremendously. The drivers and teams are excited about being here in June, and I'll tell you, just on a very personal level, you walk outside right now, it smells like honeysuckle. Everything's beautiful and
Yeah.
green. It's the perfect time in Michigan to be in the Irish Hills. So I'm excited about the June race.
Yeah, I can't blame you for that. I know that it's been frustrating for some fans when it seemed like it rained every year in August. I checked the weather report. It's only 15% chance of rain on Sunday, so I think we'll take it.
We'll take
And,
it.
and of course we'll make sure that I'm sure that things will be pulled off. And I think the June date, it should work real well in that. As far as ticket sales and all that, how have they been so far this year?
They've been great. We still have tickets available, and that's usually the case as you lead into race week. But we're going to have one heck of a crowd. It's going to be very comparable to
Yeah.
what we've seen the last couple of years. And again, the fans here are unbelievable, and it's something
Mhm.
we never take for granted. Moving into June, there were people that were able to come, now that haven't been able to come in August, and unfortunately, vice versa. But it's been exciting for us to hear this is the kickoff to summer for many families, and so kids are getting out of school, they're looking for things to do, they're coming out here to camp, or they're just coming for the weekend to enjoy the racing, and to have that be a special part of their summer kickoff. It's great for us. We love that.
And tell you what we're going to do right now is that from the miracle of the NASCAR studios, we have Chase Elliott. And Chase, you have done very well racing at Michigan International Speedway. You're top amongst points. What is MIS like for you to come out to every year?
Yeah, for sure. It's always good to go to Michigan and have a good run. It's certainly changed a lot, over the years, just with how the cars have changed. But the racetrack itself is like the most consistent place I've ever seen for a racetrack that has those hard of winners. It just doesn't seem to get old, which is kind of crazy. But I enjoy going up there. It's if you've never been to Michigan in the summer, it's actually really nice. Highly recommend. So I always enjoy going up there, in the summer months, and yeah, certainly a great place to have a good run for GM and everybody involved there. They do a lot for us.
And so with that, Chase Elliott, he really looks forward, and he is racing for, while he's cruising toward making it on points, he would like to make it. He'd like to just make it in by winning here and take home the whole thing. As far as some of the drivers in that, you said that some of them gave you some feedback. Can you be specific, or can you just talk generally about some of the feedback that you've had? I know you were talking to Brad Keselowski recently, because my partner
Yeah.
on the Steve Schweitzer couldn't make it today.
Oh,
I know that I heard the Jack Roush story, and we're going to come to Jack Roush here in a minute. But
sure.
what would you heard from feedback wise?
It's been positive. I think the drivers love coming to Michigan. It's a great place to race. It's a fast track. They're no strangers to speed, and they're not scared of speed. So when they come here, that's a piece. But I think the other thing, honestly, is the fact that we're right here in the backyard of the automotive industry. We talk about that a lot. When I moved into this role, I don't think I fully appreciated how important that is to the drivers, how important that is to the teams. Now that I've been here for a little bit, I'm starting to see the drivers. Chase Elliott is an example. He's going to come here. He's going to run his heart out because he wants to win that Heritage Trophy. He wants to win the race. He wants to win the Firekeepers Casino 400 trophy. But that Heritage Trophy that goes to the winning OEM, that is extremely important. So last year, Tyler Reddick got it and got
Yeah.
the victory for Toyota. Ford and Chevy want that thing back in their backyard. And I know everybody's working hard towards that. So that's the element that I hear about most when I talk to drivers. It's, look, this is a home race. And we're going to come prepared. We're ready to roll.
And after we take a 30-second break, Joe, we actually have Chris Buescher. He's going to come on. He's going to talk about what it is like for the drivers and for all the teams, and what it means for them to go ahead and win. We'll do that on the other side of 30.
In our sport, family comes first, and we have the trophies to prove it. Visit the NASCAR Hall of Fame in Charlotte for the ultimate outing. This is our sport. This is our house.
We're back with MIS, Michigan International Speedway Track President Joe Fowler. Joe, you've been kind enough to give us a few minutes. We know you brought it up. You just led us right into the path of Chris Buescher and the manufacturers and the drivers. They're all located in the Detroit, southeastern Michigan area. And so, Chris, what is it like? I mean, is it really something? I mean, do they give you the extra incentive to come out into the track and you guys come out and fight really hard? Chris, take her away.
Yeah, there's always I wouldn't say pressure is probably not the right word, but that's what I'll say. There's a little added pressure behind everything heading into everybody's home track. Fortunately, we got a third car and it's not Priest's home track, so at least there's two of us this year. But yeah, it's a big one, right? As we head up there, we've got a lot going on. We'll get to see a lot of the Ford family, and get to see a lot of Jack and the Roush automotive family that'll come out to the racetrack and be a part of the weekend. So yeah, it's a big deal. It really is. So excited to get back up there.
Chris, we see how intense it is, that you guys do have the pressure ratcheted up, and you work for the Cat in the Hat, and of course RFK Racing and Brett Keselowski, and I don't know, Joe, if you have a Jack Roush story, because I know Brett Keselowski, he's going to come on audio, and he's going to tell us a Jack story. Do you have one that you've had from RFK or Jack?
Yeah, I'll tell you one from last year, actually. We at MIS, we always try to think of things that are unique and special that we can do for our fans. And so we talked to Jack about the possibility of borrowing a couple of cars from his collection and showcasing them here at the track. And we did. We had a Carl Edwards raced car here. We've had a few of them over the years. And I just thought it speaks to Jack and his class. We were there, we were talking to the museum curator, and as we were getting ready to kind of leave, he said, actually, hold on a second, Jack would like to say hi. And he came out and he spoke with us for a little bit, shook hands, and he told me a few stories about how special this place is to him. And that means a lot to us, to hear from somebody who's a legend in the sport, and to know that, obviously living and based here in Michigan, that's important, but just this facility means a lot to him. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I was lucky enough at that museum he has in Livonia. I did a 4-part series with him and his family, and we tried to get Jack this weekend. He's not able to, but he has a suite right there at the track. And so hopefully I can peek in and grab a couple shrimp before the bodyguards throw me out, or you do, one or the other. I'm not really sure. And we have one final driver, Joe, before we talk about a couple activities and a really cool thing that's going to happen this weekend. I'm sure you know about it because you know all things MIS. Brad Keselowski, he told us an awesome story. I know that you were in the car with him when Steve talked about it. And so right now, Brad, you said you learned something about car ownership from Jack when you tried being a democracy. Brad, can you take us a little bit further into that story?
Favorite story. One of the things I respect about Jack Roush, probably the most, is his commitment to accountability and management. And sometimes that's super uncomfortable. Other times it actually serves a great purpose. And one time after a meeting, we were sitting down, and I asked everybody what they thought about a decision we needed to make, and kind of took a vote. And when we were done, he called me and wanted to talk about it, and affirm that we did not need to act as a democracy.
So I guess it's not a democracy at RFK Racing, or if it is, Jack will kind of point you in another direction. Before we go, any couple things on the fan side. I do know this, that Hulk Hogan is going to be sending some of his beer up your way, as he's sponsoring. They're sponsoring one of the cars this weekend. I know that they're doing a beer giveaway, and a couple of the WWE guys, I guess, are going to come out, and so that should be interesting. They are giving away some beer, and it's gonna be pretty cool. And what else is going on there? And one final thing to get fans to, if you're on the fence, you're gonna buy a ticket, or for your whole family.
Well, look, I would tell you, we always talk about the racing because that's the main attraction, but there's so much to see and do when you're here at MIS, whether it's before the race, after the race. I just encourage people, if you haven't been, or if you haven't been in a while, there is nothing like being at a race live to see it all. The sights, the smells, the sounds, and honestly, the community. There's no sport in the world, in my opinion, that has the community that NASCAR has. So, thinking about other people that are going to be here, Kirby Joseph is going to be here, which I'm super pumped about. I'm a Lions fan, so having him here to give the command, that's going to be really neat. And I think we're going to have a few other tricks up our sleeves for pre-race too soon. So, you can't come here and not have a good time. So, come one, come all.
Well, I promised you I was going to keep it about 10 minutes, and I just about did that. I can tell you that we will send you a copy of this and some of the other things that we're doing the weekend. We got to do that. And so I'll make sure, Josh, we'll get your email and all that. We'll send it out because we want to promote MIS every chance that we possibly can. It's a great facility, a great place for families to come. And if you're a race fan, the smoke, the noise, the horsepower, and it's Joe Fowler's smiling face. Thanks, Joe, for everything, okay?
Hey, thank you for the support. Means a lot.
You got it.